Welcome to Solutions from the Yard, a candid discussion about life behind bars and its effect on society. We'll discuss reintegration or re-entry back into the community post-incarceration. Your host for this episode is Dietrich Trent.
Welcome to another edition from Solutions from the Yard. I'm today's host, Dietrich Trent. I have my brother Michael Dickinson-Neal and my brother Charles Hawkins. How y'all doing?
I'm doing great.
Peaceful as usual.
So, man, we had a nice topic. We was talking about the miseducation of the youth.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so much more to be discussed, left to be discussed. First, I want to touch on the one thing, because you brought it up, Brother Charles, when you was speaking about the education system. My thing, I question to both of you all is: do the education system play a vital hand in the pipeline to the judicial system?
I think so. And
explain.
And the reason why I say that, because one, most education systems is quota driven, and because they get you get money for how much you produce, right? Dexter Manley went to went to Oklahoma State.
Mm-hmm.
Famous football player. Fed when he was a commander.
Yeah.
Washington commander.
The Washington football team.
Yeah, the Washington football team. Fed. You put AT in front of them, CAT in front of them, and a dollar bill sign. And you say, what did that say? He gonna point the dollar bill sign and say, well, that say $1. You say, read it. He gonna say, I don't know what that is. He couldn't read or write.
Exactly.
But he was passed all the way through. And this is when you have a school system that is overcrowded. The teachers are marginalized. You don't invest in the teachers to give them the resources they need to educate our children. So you put them in the classroom and say, well, your responsibility is to get these kids through. If not, then we're going to lose our funding or the school going to be removed. So no, I don't think so. I think that some schools are better than others.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why some schools are better than others is because the people that's in them schools, the teachers that's in them schools, the principals in them schools, are invested in the people in them schools. They don't look at, well, we don't have. They look at, well, I have this child's mind. That's why you got some people, when you look at certain football players, and when they go back, they say like, man, Mr. Wilson, when I came through here, and they go through the dude's story, how he didn't have shoes and was raggedy, but when he said the person that he looked up to was his teacher. And the reason why we don't have that now, because the teachers don't have the resources to really get involved with like helping the kid. You gotta be a teacher, you gotta be a minister, you gotta be a social worker, you gotta be a mother. Only thing you ain't gotta be is breastfeed them, because they too goddamn old.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Great question, because I got a follow up about that, Brother Mike. Do you feel the education system plays a vital hand in the pipeline to the judicial system for our youth?
Of course, because what was that, Brown versus Roe?
Brown versus Board of Education.
Board of Education, one of them jokes. Yeah, so it was one of those. So I mean, that been going on ways back then. Education plays a great importance, in that pipeline, because just like you said, you took away all the vocational training. Now that leaves us two other. Once you take the vocational training out, that leads us to other two avenues to higher education. That's either sports or you had the money. So those was like, the three main things that will catapult us after we leave high school.
Hey, I'm glad.
Vocational training. If you didn't have vocational training, guess what? You had a wicked jump shot, or you was super fast or something. You was be naturally athletic. So you had that was another avenue. Or if you wasn't none of those, your parents just had the money to send you to college to get further education.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, when you look at those three things, okay, we're gonna X out vocational, because that's dead.
Mm-hmm.
The average person don't have the money. Now we only got one left. That's you're an athlete. You got a wicked jump shot. You see what I'm saying?
Or they got some type of talent, entertainment.
Yeah, some type of talent. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. So when you start Xing those things out, now you only got a certain category that's coming out, and everybody can't come out that way. You understand what I'm saying? So when you start Xing those things out, then you really leave just a real small pipeline. And then guess what? Whoever, don't make it through that pipeline, guess what? The fishnet gonna catch you. Whatever else, social media, whatever catch you. So therefore, the education is key. They, the world knows that education is the key. When your child growing up, first thing your parents tell you once you have a child is, look, don't be cursing around the child, because they gonna start cussing. So you know how important education is, and then like what they got going on with this, with the social media, then the cost of living so high, both parents got to work overtime, this, that, and the third. Guess what? Who you entertainment? You children got phones now. You 7, 8 years old with a high tech device, an iPhone. And the only thing you watching on it is YouTube and all this other goofy stuff. So so now you getting educated by social media and whatever's on that phone. So now, it's just, man, education really is just, I think now, like, education really didn't turn, like, just like prison. Prison was reforming guys when they had all the trades and all that. Now it's just warehousing, so now same thing with education, it's just basically, it was to educate your children. Now it's just, to indoctrinate them now, because now the indoctrination is coming in. You understand what I'm saying? So therefore, school is not the way it used to be to propel the youth to high levels. Now it's really been dumbed down to just really indoctrination.
It's what I call it now is modern day daycare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's all.
Yeah, come on.
That's all. Where the parents go to the kids got to go somewhere.
Yeah, the children got to go somewhere while the parents at work.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Man, it's an all day daycare. That's all it is now. Speaking of that, right? And you speaking like the social media aspect, a lot of that come from the household. We could I feel, the parents, we as parents, we could control a lot of things that our kids are exposed to now inside our house. Right? But once they walk out the door, you only can hope your teachers teach them, your teachers protects them from any other exposures that may come from, that may bring any type of harm or trauma to them. That's the only thing but with that said, we spoke on the judicial system, what they play, how they miseducated of the youth, and we spoke on how the education system is miseducated when it comes to the youth and as parents. Now, with all that being said, my question to both of you brothers, and anyone you could answer, is where does the accountability lies at? Between because somebody got to be accountable for the requiem of the black man, of the youth, right? And for the orders that didn't understand what I was saying, I was meaning the death of the black youth requiem. So anyone that you can answer, where does the accountability lies in? Who has to be more accountable for what's going on with our youth? Not saying, because I think somebody got to be held accountable. Either it's the judicial system throwing them, sending them down the toilet and saying it's over with, say, forget your life, or is it, as parents, we don't have enough resources, we ain't doing enough, or we ain't like brother Mike spoke on, the unification of the family being broken. Our families being broken, and we ain't putting enough energy back into healing our family and being, connective of our family? Or is it the education system, like Brother Mike said, about the indoctrination of it, that's as a pipeline to send our kids? Because once after the 12th grade, they going back to the neighborhood, because a lot of them ain't no jobs saying they gonna hire them when they come out this school. They ain't got no money to go to school. If they do get free tuition to any school, they ain't got the money, the books to pay for they ain't got no money to pay for the books. So they gonna be like, man, ain't no reason me going making a fool of myself. If I fail this class, I gotta pay this money. They don't take you. So these are the things. But where does accountability lie at, bro?
I'm not one. I don't blame the victim.
Right.
No, I don't. I'm not big on that. Right. I recognize this here, and I'm gonna give you an example. Somebody ran over two tours down on Constitution Avenue, right down there by the monument. Ran him over, speed by, got away, and everything. And so I was saying, man, they right down the heart of the city. Me and Mike, we always go that way. I said, ain't no way. Some of the traffic so jammed, you can't even walk past. I'm saying, how did he get away? But that being said, guess who turned him in? His mother. His mother said only my son could drive. My son was the only one that had access to that car and drove it. Was she derelict in being a mother to say, look, go out, steal a car, rob, run, move? No.
No.
They would say, but she took responsibility for that. I'm saying this, that it's no other people on this planet, that's been systematically targeted like people of African descent. No other people.
No other.
Everywhere you look, it's always been an unlevel playing field. So when you deal with parenting, okay, and this is not an excuse, this is a fact. You came in and you revised the Welfare Act. When you was revising the Welfare Act, guess what you was calling the people that was on welfare?
Tell them.
Wolves, dogs, heathens. This is how you describe the people that was on welfare. Then you then you said that the welfare mother, the one that's supposed to stole all the money. Right. I was to a program on NPR yesterday. Say the woman ain't taking no more than $1,000. But Ronald Reagan painted a narrative that she was like a raving maniac that stole all the money. So I'm saying accountability lies in the system that created this environment for people like us. Because when you take and say, all right, I'm not going to invest in you. You know what they just did? The woman that, remember they stole the blood from the woman and plasma? Remember the story of, what's her name, Harry, whatever?
Oh yeah, I know you're talking about.
They just awarded her family money for what they did to her. They took her blood and came up with a cure for something. They just,
her blood was curing a whole bunch of different stuff.
So I'm saying all that to say this here, that when you look at you systematically take and tell people you're worthless, you put them in a public housing, and then you say, like, in order for you to stay in this public housing, you can't work. You can't have a man in your house to work.
Speak on it.
Then you say, okay, so now you're attacking the very structure. Because remember, during slavery, what did they attack? They attacked the family. They attacked the family.
They held their marriages in secret.
They attacked the family because what did they do? They took and said that if the man impregnated the woman, right, he ain't have no sense of like emotion. He like, oh, what? Master said, put a baby up in him. I'm gonna put a baby up in him. So that's what they did.
Yeah.
Right? And then you translate that back into society now. Man come out there, well, look, first of the month, hey, hard joint, hey, got your drink, hey, okay, bye. Because that's how we've been conditioned. So I'm saying that accountability lies in the system that's systematically targeting us. And we're doing a good job of fighting back. We're doing a good job. This is the next page in the narrative. The youth people, the young black kids, carjacking.
Yes.
Do anybody remember Dylan and Clebo, of Columbine?
Educate them.
They were sitting in their basement. They had Mercedes-Benz, the mother and father. They had everybody in the school. Everybody went to school. You went to school. You was like, that's a Benz parking lot? All the kids had that, and they was in the basement making weapons and went to school and mayhem. Or the boy Jeremiah Spoken, where he shot the kids. These white kids that did it. You ain't hear none of that. You don't hear none of that. Oh, they bad, they crazy, they savages. No, they get the mitigator. Oh, well, see, Dylan and Clebo, they had too much time on their hand. And their parents went to Paris and didn't let them go that year. Told them they had to go to summer school. Come on, man.
That's why I love Salute to Shorty, y'all. Man, what's your take, brother?
Well, Chuck really kind of like went to the root of it because, like you say, it's systematic. I mean, I when you start saying accountability, it's so many things that's accountable. Like Chuck said, we can't play the victim neither all the time. It's just the parenting is different. You know, like we was talking about before in the discussion about the lack of respect. Mm-hmm. When I was incarcerated one time, you know, another brother, he when you're in jail, you got a whole bunch of great thinkers. You know, everybody be labeling themselves great thinkers. You know, they read, about 1,000 conscious books and they label themselves as great thinkers. So brother came to me one time and said, man, Dixon Neal, man, what's up with these youngins, man? Man, why these youngins, No, like older guys, man. I be trying to educate them, but they don't like me. So I said, man, from my observation, I believe that a lot of youngins have a lot of, hard feelings towards older guys because you remind them of their own father. So he said, man, you think that's it? I said, that's from my observation from talking to him, stuff like that. So then he said, man, you know what? I'm going to do a survey, man. I'm going to go around this whole unit and ask the youngins. So, the great thinker, he went and did it. He came back and said, you know what, Dixon, I think you're right. All of them had issues with their daddy.
They talk like that?
Yeah, so I'm looking. So I said, man, that's what I see, but the point of it is that I think that the miseducation, like, Carter G. Woodson had the book called The Miseducation of the Negro.
That's right.
Right.
Us as people, man, we have to really wake up. And I ain't talking about wake up financially, because, that's what they think now. You arrive once you wake up financially, but if you're not conscious, mind, body, and soul, spiritual and all that, if you're not conscious, we have morals, you can't put that into your child. You see what I'm saying? See, when I was coming up, my mother and father, my father didn't go to church, but he just had plain old good virtue. My mother, you know what I'm saying? She loved the church. Always try to get us in the church. And I'm saying all this to say, a lot of this is just a trickle down, a watered down effect, just like Chuck said, go all the way down back to slavery. Certain things is just not taught in the households no more. And I mentioned it before, you got single parent homes. Now, I, not to say no names, I see, prominent family, single parent, 2 sons, don't never leave the house. Yeah. Always in the house playing video games, cold nerds. But yet, one time he said, man, I want to get one of them, he like 11, I want to get one of them ski masks. So I'm like, what you want one of them for? Yeah, because it's a fashion statement. But a lot of these youngins don't know. You want to popularize and be like a guy that go to school, they got all the girls and real popular, the one that wear the ski mask all day, because he might be a shooter. You see what I'm saying? Because that's what they say in one of the rap songs, no face, no case. So you don't realize why these youngins walking around with them backpacks and walking around with them ski masks all the time, because they got guns and they ready to shoot whenever they can, because they are educated enough to know that they got these cameras all over the city. So you a cold nerd, but you want a ski mask. You want to fit in and be like the gangster. You see what I'm saying? So it's so much things that, like, far as morals that need to be taught. And the mother, she's so busy working overtime, doing this and that, she don't have no time to monitor her children. You see what I'm saying? So they getting, like I say, they getting miseducated when they in school. Turn around, they getting miseducated by the music they listen to. You got some children, they just in a broken home. So it's like, when you start talking about accountability, us as a people, period, we just need to wake up. That's why I be like telling my significant other, man, about what I want to teach my child. I have a fresh newborn child. So therefore, I be telling her, like, all the things that I know through my circumstances that I went through. I don't want her having no phone. You know what I'm saying? I don't want her being educated by YouTube University. I don't want her being educated or indoctrinated by whatever school she go to, because she concerned about what school she gonna go to. Nah, it's about what you teach your child. Because, see, my mother and my father was always my superhero. It wasn't Jordan. It wasn't none of these other people. My mother and father was my superheroes. Because when I came home from school and it was something that I didn't understand, I could easily go to my father and say, Pop, how you do this fraction? And he'll come over there and help me. You see what I'm saying? He was my hero. My mother was my hero because she the one that taught me all my morals and principles. You understand what I'm saying? She was the one that taught me certain virtues and things of that nature. So they was always, they was like my gods. And you got to really understand that, man, when the child do not have a concept of what God is, who's the first gods in their life? It's their parents. And that's how people got to really understand how influential a parent really is. You see what I'm saying? So when you destroy that dynamic, man, the worst is yet to come. You see what I'm saying? So therefore, when we talk about accountability, man, like we really, really start having to, man, educate ourselves, man. Stop throwing our children to the wolves and expecting somebody else to educate them.
Keep flowing.
You see what I'm saying? Because that's what really need to be done, man. And that's what I see for myself. All the miseducation, all the wrong directions that I went, all these things I know. So now I can teach my daughter all the snares, what to look for, what not to look for, which direction to go. And that's what I think that when you start talking about accountability, us as families, we need to get back to that old fashioned teaching and instill that, and also make sure you be the message that you bring. See, that's the most important thing, because words don't mean nothing if it don't match your character. You see what I'm saying? Because I can't tell my child to get off the gram, put that down and do your homework when she sneaking on my page and I got my hind parts out trying to get likes. Every time I turn around, I see my father, he posting every time he got a new outfit on. You know what I'm saying? We can't teach like that. You see what I'm saying? We can't teach like that, because I can't tell you not to be materialistic when I'm being materialistic. So therefore, you know, when it comes to accountability, man, I take that, I'm going to take that on the chin, you know, because I got a daughter that's about to be 29 years old and she gone where she want to go. And I got a newborn that's 14 months. So I know the difference and I see the comparison. And I don't want to be the person that was out of her life for 24 years. I want to be this man that's going to be there and get him all the education that I need, man, with every breath of my life.
Real put.
See, that was real man talk right there, bro. What I learned is being a co-host here is the aspects of growth. When we could actually speak on our experience and now actually want and actually can visual how we want our life to be as the fruit of the labor of our fruit, right? And like I said, these youth, why I'm saying this is because my last question was what solutions you think could be done to help our young people as the fruit of the labor of our fruit. And like I said, these youth, why I'm saying this is because my last question was what solutions you think could be done to help our young people. I don't need no answer. Why I ask you the accountability, because I'm a firm believer the answer to a lot of these problems relies into the unification of our families.
That's it. That's
That's
all.
it,
Right.
and that's all.
And me experiencing juvenile imprisonment, me coming home seeing, man, what prison and what the disconnect and what me and my son had, right? But now we healing that for the future, for my grandkids, because if we don't heal, me and him don't heal with the trauma that I put him through, if we don't heal that, he ain't gonna be able to teach his kids how to be righteous and upright people, right? So that's why I'm saying this, Otis, is because we gotta hold ourselves accountable. And I mean the person that you wake up to in the mirror every day. If we hold each other accountable, our youth will have someone to look up to. This is real talk. I could go in my neighborhood, real respected in my neighborhood. I love all my neighbors. They know I love them because I identify with them. And they see something that they see, and they know I'm what I'm saying. I'm walking. I ain't trying to be nothing else. I've been that. I'm doing. Let me try this, and I want y'all to come with me, cause I go in my neighborhood every day trying to get everybody jobs. That's all we do.
That's right. That's right.
Just try to lift our people up, and that's my solution. Is
that's right.
We gotta hold each other accountable when it comes to the uplifting of our families. We can't allow the systems or whatever system you want to name raise our babies, because if we continue allowing the system to raise our babies, we're going to continually seeing the death and the miseducation of our youth.
You've been listening to Solutions from the Yard. This podcast is presented by Voices for a Second Chance, a comprehensive reentry program that provides culturally appropriate, trauma-informed, gender-specific, and peer-based services. For more information, go to info@vscdc.org or visit our website at www.vscdc.org.